Well, apparently the Niners are ranked the number one team, but I have a little bit of problem with this. Let's rock and I'll talk about it. All right, what's going on, guys? My name's Antonio, and welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast. Today, we are talking about the 49ers. Now, the Niners, after losing in the Super Bowl once again, as per usual, they have entered into the offseason with probably a lot of talk from the media as well. But recently, there was a article released by, according to ESPN NFL Football Power Index on the rankings. According to the rankings, the 49ers are ranked number one ahead of Kansas City, Baltimore, Detroit, Buffalo, Cowboys, Cincy, Philly, Texans, and Packers in the top 10, and a few others outside the top 10. But before we get this discussion underway, if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button down below. I am aiming for 500 subscribers before the beginning of the next NFL season, which starts on September 15th between the Ravens and the Chiefs. So if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, let's get this discussion underway. So, first off, I had a one word reaction to this. And I was just very heated about when I saw this. So, my one word reaction was, what? I'm sorry, but you really want to tell me that the Niners are number one in the NFL? You're really trying to tell me that the Super Bowl runner up is a number one team in the NFL? I'm sorry, excuse me, correct me if I'm wrong here, correct me if I'm wrong, but are you trying to tell me that the 49ers are ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs that beat them in Super Bowl 58, ahead of the Baltimore Ravens that smacked them around on Christmas, that looked like the Grinch stealing Christmas? Are you really trying to tell me that a Lions team that almost beat you in the NFC Championship game, that is rebuilt very well, is ahead of you? That you're ahead of them? I'm sorry, but what? I mean, the Chiefs, they're the defending Super Bowl champs. They are back-to-back champs. They have new weapons, including Marquise Hollywood Brown, probably Rasheed Rice. We'll see what happens there. You got Xavier Worthy. You got so many new guys on there, and you're not even putting the Chiefs ahead of the 49ers that beat them in the Super Bowl, by the way. And not only that, the Ravens, which I can probably understand because they lost a lot of weapons in free agency. I can understand that. But the Lions that built very well ahead of you, and also along with that, on outside the top 10, let me go back here to my notes. The number 16 was the Dallas Cowboys, which I could totally understand that because the 49ers have spanked the Dallas Cowboys in the last few matchups. But and then the Bengals? No way. I'm not putting the 49ers ahead of the Bengals with Joe Burrow there. And then also along with that, the Philadelphia Eagles with Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore with new guys on their squad. Heck no, I'm not putting the Niners ahead of them. And then the Texans? Heck no, I'm not putting the Niners ahead of them. And then the Packers? Maybe. Depends on what happens this upcoming season when they face off in Lambeau. But I am just I'm struck right now. I'm for real struck. But why are we highlighting a 49ers team that lost a lot of weapons in free agency, including Eric Armstead that was released, which I think was a false move, Chase Young, Steve Wilks, that was their defensive coordinator at the time, Ray McLeod, and you bring in Leonard Floyd and Devondre Campbell. Why are we putting the Niners so far ahead of the other teams? Because this I cannot understand. Because, one, the Niners in history of being a Super Bowl runner-up, the first time they were a Super Bowl runner-up was 2013, I believe, in Super Bowl 47. They went to the NFC Championship that following year, which was highlighted by, which then they were defeated out by the Seahawks, which we all remember as the most famous post game conference by Richard Sherman that had to beef with the Mike Crabtree. And then 2019, when they also lost to the Chiefs, they went on to have a losing season due to multiple injuries and missing the playoffs and gifting it to the Seattle Seahawks division to the Seattle Seahawks. Not that I'm saying that's going to happen. Not that I'm saying it's going to happen. But they still have a lot to prove. The 49ers have a lot to prove. And the fact is, they're a Super Bowl or bust team. Mr. Irrelevant has to finish the job. Kyle Shanahan has to finish the job. And why? And the Chiefs, they beat y'all in the Super Bowl. The biggest game, the biggest sporting event on the planet. And we are putting the Niners ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs that the Niners have not even recorded a win against since Kyle Shanahan became the head coach of the 49ers. I mean, that is the most ridiculous thing that I have ever seen. And if I'm a Kansas City Chief fan in the city of Kansas City, I am in deep flooded rage. I am very mad at the NFL media if I'm a Chief fan. How in the heck can they put him ahead of the Chiefs? I mean, I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be cool. But if you were telling me that it was the division that they're ranking them ahead of, then I'll totally understand. But the fact that we are ranking them ahead of all the teams from the NFC and the AFC, ahead of the Chiefs and Ravens that smacked them around on a variety of times. The Ravens beat them up on Christmas Day when they looked like the Grinch stealing Christmas, and then the Chiefs beat them in the Super Bowl. Why are we putting them ahead of those two teams that spanked them in their matchups? That absolutely spanked them. I'm sorry, but I just have a problem with that. I just really have a problem with this. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you think that the Niners should be ranked the number one team in the NFL? And if so, put in an argument down below. And I, I really want to hear an argument because I just don't see any way that the Niners are ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs. If y'all have an argument that is worthy of that, let me know because last time I checked, the Niners haven't won a Super Bowl in about 29 to 30 years. Just the last time I checked. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Ciao for now.